Greetings, friends. It's been a few days, but I am back and I give thanks for all of you. I would like to share something with you today from the book 30-Day Journey with Dietrich Bonhoeffer. And this regards history. It remains an experience of incomparable value that we have for once learned to see the great events of world history from below, from the perspective of the outcasts, the oppressed and reviled. In short, from the perspective of the suffering. If only during this time bitterness and envy had not corroded the heart, that we come to see matters great and small, happiness and misfortune, strength and weakness with new eyes, that our sense for greatness, humanness, justice, and mercy has grown clearer, freer, more incorruptible, that we learn indeed that personal suffering is a more useful key, more fruitful principle than personal happiness for exploring the meaning of the world in contemplation and action. But this perspective from below must not lead us to become advocates for those who are perpetually dissatisfied. Rather, out of a higher satisfaction, which in its essence is grounded beyond what is below and above, we do justice to life in all its dimensions, and in this way affirm it. And the reflection concerning this writing is, most of us have had the experience of simply not seeing something because it was outside of our area of concern, or because it was in our interest not to see it. In our better moments, we acknowledge that our own bias and self-interest lead us to notice only what we want to notice. Bonhoeffer encourages us to observe the great events of history from below. We fail to perceive the world as it actually is unless we are willing to look at it from below. We need to pay special attention to the poor, the weak, the powerless. This is not merely a moral admonition. What might seem like a reasonable policy, or at most a necessary evil, comes to be seen in its full brutality through the perspective of the suffering. Reflect on how considering the interests of the marginalized changes how you evaluate a particular action, proposal, or policy. How might talking to those most affected shape our thoughts and convictions? Have a good evening.